Hey everyone, how's it going? It's I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. And everyone check out wraithax.eth domain name, and this is not financial advice ever. So a little bit on Omi today. We'll start with there first. We were down about 0.8%, so really not too great a day for Omi, but not really the best. It kind of falls in between. And this is with us having about $600,000 in volume on the day. So again, really no changes there. As far as other cryptos compared against it, everything was pretty much up or down, about 1%. So again, nothing really crazy, pretty flat day for crypto, except for Cardano, which was up about 5.8%. So shout out to them that were doing really well. Solana also up about 5.5%. So again, interesting stuff there. So I have been hunting around in other worlds, just checking to see what their view is on crypto, what their view is on NFTs and all that. And there is for the extreme Pokemon collector called a place called EliteForum.com, Elite4 for short. And if you go and you take a look at all of the different subjects that they have, the eBay garbage, my collections, best solution to protect, single vending series, all this jazz. If you take a look and scroll down, there are NFTs, crypto, and collectibles. And I have been doing over the last couple days, really just trying to tell people, yeah, a lot of NFTs are really not good, and eventually they won't really be worth the gas fees that people would pay for the NFT. But I have gone on and said, however, while we do have all this, we do have some really good stuff, some licensed stuff from Disney, licensed stuff from Universal, Marvel, and DC, and I mentioned Veve, and nobody seems to really know what it is yet. A lot of these people, which again are top tier Pokemon collectors, that's what they do. This is what this site is for. It's for Reddit, and it's basically like Reddit but for Pokemon collectors, all these different subjects. And some people are can't wait for the Pokemon NFTs, whether they do come or not. Some people are just like and again, these are the people that you really want the opinions of, because these are the top collectors. And some people said, like, I think it just might be a lack of education on NFTs because they're just not into NFTs in general. Other people really know the markets, and they really know, like, well, no, NFTs can be really good if done correctly. But again, nobody really seems to know what Veve is yet, so I've been trying. So if you want, go make an account. It's pretty cool. One of the big complaints about a bunch of NFTs in general are people that say, like, well, these are these new characters, and there's new things, and there's no character, there's no story, there's no thing. And I say, well, you have to find ones that do have a story. The ones sold from Disney, DC, and other big brands already have stories. Spider-Man, Superman, and Mickey Mouse all have stories built in already, and not all digital collectibles are obtained the same way. Some people think, like, oh, you only get them one way. It's not like Pokemon cards, where you can get it at a tournament, you can trade, you can do whatever. But obviously with Veve Premium Digital Collectibles, you can get airdropped, you can buy it from the store, you can buy it from the secondary. Eventually they will have trades on, so this will be really exciting. Some other fun news, and I'll just say it. It's from ColumbusUnderground.com. It is these people, and I'm not gonna say who, that have bought a building. They have a building. It's a 10-story building. They want to try to get a famous artist to go and do a mural on there. And I'm almost 100% positive that there might be a little VVTs on there when that is procured and built. Again, this is probably many, many months or even a year away, but advertising do be on its way, though. Other news, we do have a really interesting article from Forbes saying, I've seen the future of AR glasses at CES 2023, and it's amazing. I think this is one of the things that we're able to have the Veveverse on. Again, not right away. This may or may not be years away, but I do believe everyone would want to have that. Like, systems fight to get certain games on their system because they want people to play it. They know it's going to be a popular game. I think Veveverse will be much the same way. It's going to be really popular, and everyone's going to want to have it on there. Disney really backing up Veve here by saying they're suing online retailers over knockoff merchandise. This does include normal things like Etsy, normal things like this, but also it does include NFTs as well. Anything that is not officially Disney licensed, they are cracking down on. So again, if they didn't really care about Veve one way or the other, they wouldn't mind. They would just ignore this, but because they do care about the relationship, they say, hey, all these profits that are going into these little things, whether they're NFTs or whatnot, they could be going to Veve, so that's why they are doing the lawsuit. So shout out to Disney for that. Again, I really like how Veve did address the wire situation the day it happened. Topps did not come out until 2 days later and addressing people saying, hey, Topps NFT customers, You may have seen reports that Wire, a wallet service provider for our secondary marketplace, may be shutting down or scaling back operations. There's no way they're coming back. We have been assessing the situation, and as of today, Wire released an official statement, which can be found here, and they give a link to that, saying that basically they're also cutting down their secondary marketplace as well. Which again, it took Wire a couple of days to do that. Veve just a couple of hours, so pretty excited about that. I did have someone message me saying that, hey, I'm still stacking, yada yada yada. I am basically, he's stacking the Mighties. I won't say who the owner is, but this person at the time had 92 M'Bakus and now has 100 M'Bakus. And I was like, that you have a lot more than I do. I only have 14, but it just goes to show people are still stacking. People are still, and I get that's something that's relatively cheap. You know, he's like $5, give or take. You know, it might be a little bit more now, but that, and it's not just that. We do have somebody, SmartyPants187, that has, I think, a little over 390 Pluto lenticular cards. And those cards, those are not cheap. Those are not $5. Those are over $100. So again, people are stacking the cheap and people are stacking the expensive. Also, we have the possibility for a new error that I don't think anyone's really found out yet. Somebody had messaged the person that had played Manitoban in the Obi-Wan series, and they had messaged, just confused, as I call you Manitoban, is that actually your character name? Thanks in advance. And she does respond, hello, my character was not assigned a name, I was just one of the Manitobans. So these Manitobans are actually a race, that is not the name. So because we have that name over on the Veve digital collectible, I think that it could count as an error. As if those Manitobans weren't expensive enough already. They're currently $200. Once people figure out this is technically a error, it might go up a little more. We have some Feesh's news. Brockman Blockchain says Feesh's card game circling back to bonus perks, and then the first update for year 2, just a mini event to show some love, all incoming. If you're not Feeshing yet and want entertainment, now's the best time to dive in. Lots of fun and surprises planned for this year. Link down below to where you can mint a Feesh. Go get some. Not financial advice, it's just fun. It's just really, really fun. Although there is potential to make a decent amount of money when you have a bunch of airdrops and eventually they do sell out, but I'm just saying, it's really fun. Also, we do have Brockman Blockchain over on the Discord saying, hey everyone, the first event will be a mini one to show some love in the early February. I've got, love, February, Valentine's Day, sorry. I've got some things to build for the event, but I'll probably trickle a little preview of fun here and there as we get closer. I'm excited of what's forming this year already. I have some big announcements coming, but waiting for a few more details to firm up before I drop them. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you jumping in this wild adventure. That'd be pretty cool. Also, we're going to give a shout out to Novak Djokovic, who is competing in one of Australia's biggest tennis match right now. Got 11.9 million followers. I think he's a really cool dude. I think it'd be really great if he came on the podcast. I mean, I'm not saying he will, but I think it'd be really great if he came on the podcast. Comment down below if you want to see him on the podcast. In other news from Kotaku Australia, we have updates on global loot boxes revenue. And we are looking at, it says 2025. I think that was clearly a misprint, but, or maybe this is an estimate. Oh yes, I'm sorry. Loot boxes are expected to generate 26 billion by 2025. You're looking at, most of it is going to be in Far East and China. So why is David and Dan super excited to get Asia on board? Because they spend a lot of money on this. They actually spend more than Americans do. Hard to believe, I know. Y'all know Clever Jerk. Y'all know that mad lad that collects special mint numbers, seems to have an unlimited bank account. Take a look at the all-new Marvel Now .1s. And do it from lowest mint number to highest mint number. It is filled. I think they're between number 201 or 202. That 202 was mine, by the way. He sniped it. I told him about it. Between 202 and I think 1,000, I think there's maybe 3 other 3-digit mints in there that are not Clever Jerks. If you have a 3-digit, keep it. Because clearly, from what I know, there are very few things that Clever Jerk sells. And anything that he does sell, he uses to snipe up something that he loves. And yeah, a dude's just a mad lad. And again, this is one person. This is one nerd like us. Like, what would we do if we had, I don't know how much money he has. Let's say we had an extra $1 million. What would we do? I would do the same exact thing. I would buy a little more Omi, and I'm sure the dude has a lot of Omi, but yeah, I would do the same exact thing. All does it take? Can you imagine what's going to happen when Omi goes up and we have Omi to NFT and we have Omi to Gem and people aren't able to control themselves because people like myself have spending problems and are just going to want to buy all this stuff. Yeah, these lows are not long for this world, methinks. So speaking of offers like that, Comics and Crypto podcast says, really looking forward to making offers on comics and collectibles with special mint numbers on Veve Official. This is going to open up a lot of opportunity for collectors and investors to grow their collections. Mr. MC1.eth, love you Sanjay, says, I think the feature by itself will triple Veve's revenue in 1 year. That's a pretty big claim, but also, he's a smart guy. I usually wouldn't bet against him. I think tripling's a lot. Again, whenever... I think the tripling will happen as far as revenue goes, but I don't think it'll be just because of that. Obviously, if they come out with it later this year and then we start to get out of this bear market and we start to, get out of the recession, let's say they do that in Q3 of this year. Well, let's say you have 2 more quarters of bear market recession and then you have recovery Q2 and Q3 of the next year. You're really looking at, you're really looking at a lot of growth in there. So I think the revenue does triple in that 1 year, but I don't think it's specifically going to be because of this. But again, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Let's hope I'm wrong. Comment down below if you think I'm wrong. Also, shout out to Layer Cake New York over on over on Instagram, who is Sean Sullivan, who'll be coming on the podcast for the next couple weeks. That'll be exciting. So a little something that I've been noticing, I've only noticed it on the Marvel Mighties just because I happen to have those sets, is that when you take a look at how many you have to collect, and you take a look at Marvel Studios' Black Panther, the most recent Marvel Mighty set, and it says 7 of 7, yes, you need Shuri, the Black Panther, to complete the set, but Shuri does not show up on the original 6, which I think is a little bit of a mistake. I think it is a little bit misleading because you actually have to hunt for her. You actually have to go and say, okay, where is she? You have to look in the market and you have to scroll, and it's annoying. So that's why this secret rare, I think that is a big reason why this secret rare is not even 1.5 times the amount of the ultra rare. That does not happen in any other Marvel Mighty set. In all the other Marvel Mighty set, the secret rare is at least 3x the price so of the ultra rare, and this obviously is not. But be advised, this is not the only set that does something like that. Shuri is not her own set. You have the most recent Mickey Mouse airdrop where you have Mickey Mouse's signature. Well, now you don't just need the 3 Mickey Mouses to complete that set. Now you need the airdrop as well. And I think that last set is going to be probably the second or third most expensive Mickey Mouse. Because obviously the first one's going to be Partners. That's always going to be it. Steamboat Willie is great. And, the only other company to ever get the Steamboat Willie license was Lego, really big company. Nobody else is ever getting that license. But why I think the bookends are really, really important. That's why they did in Batman Black and White Season 1, or the first series, you have Eddie Riso, number 1, and you have the Todd, which is number 100. You have those bookends. Why I think bookends are really good, because it signifies the start and end of certain eras. I mean, in that Mickey Mouse NFT collection, Steamboat Willie does start it, and the All Aboard finishes it. Why is Neo Destiny in Pokemon such an amazing set? Yeah, it's got a lot of cards, and it has, these secret rares in it, where the cards that you didn't know how many there were at the time in the early 2000s. And it's also the last time any set has first edition. So that's just an additional layer to collecting. The fact that is the last set and it has an airdrop attached to it, again, it's a little annoying. You have to collect these 3 and now you have to collect another one on top of that. But again, that's part, some collectors might be pissed off about that, but some collectors will be like, okay, that's cool, that's another thing I can collect. That's another reason for me to keep going. It's like, what happens in that episode of BoJack Horseman where him and the dragonfly, they finish a house, and like, oh, they're kind of upset that they're done building the house. Like, oh, the weather vane, we need to get the weather vane. It's exciting for some collectors to continuously have that chase, to continuously have something to go and get. So the fact that they add stuff, like if you didn't get the original Marvel Mighty set or the Black Panther one, and you only had 5 out of 6 of them. You're missing Namor. Is it upsetting that now you don't just have to get Namor, but you have to get Shuri as well? That's additional cost. Yeah, I get it. But to some people, it's like, oh, cool. I'm not done yet. I can still continue on this adventure. Again, comment down below what way you feel. I've heard mixed reactions from different people, whether it's from people that were collecting Battlestar Galactica, then they have to get the airdrop, or James Bond. It seems like most of them nowadays, the airdrop comes as part of the original set, not its own. Comment down below what you think of that. PewDiePie, which has over 100 million subscribers, just did a video on his favorite collectibles, and Toby was in there. Yes, Gary Basement's Toby. Thought that was really interesting. Let's spam his comments with, you can get Toby. No, don't spam. But if 1 or 2 people want to go and say, hey, you can get that Toby in premium digital format on Veve Digital Collectibles, Veve app, I think that'd be okay. I don't know how many of those he actually reads anyway. So I did not go for RoboCop because I thought for sure, like most others, like Swamp Thing, like not Captain America, America Chavez. I can't believe I forgot her name. That's my baby sister. I thought that half to 75% would sell out, and then the other half would still stay there, and maybe at a $60 price, maybe the secondary market would have it at $45 to $50, give or take. But that did not happen. It sold out very, very quickly. I think that might be because of the no cash out. People can't cash their stuff out. And I mean, it might be that, but also because you have NFTs are in like a mini bull run in general, not just us. I mean, not just the stuff that I've seen, whether the AF-15s, the commons, the rares, the Marvel Mighties, there's been a lot of things that have been going up, the She-Hulks, and I don't know why. I mean, I attributed at first, people can't cash out, they're just spending their extra gems. Like, well, I can't cash out, might as well buy at these lows. But then I also see that other NFTs and other projects are also selling, and they're also going up. So that I thought was interesting as well. But yeah, Veve made like a nice $113,000, give or take, today. Now, granted, that is gross pay. And the floor was, like 30% above retail. So that's really, really cool. And we have Wallace Cotton Jr. over on Veve Digital Collectibles and Friends over on the Facebook page saying, okay, let's talk stacking strategy. Let's say I know a particular comics/collectible with 30% of the supply held by one user. How does it benefit me to buy the same NFT? I got this. So like I've said before, a buddy of mine and his brother-in-law, they have like 40% of the Thor Love and Thunder posters. One, they don't really sell. They're in it for the long haul. They're seasoned investors, and they don't need to sell. They have like 4 businesses where they're constantly getting money. They do not need to sell a Thor poster for 200 gems. And that's the thing. Even if they wanted to sell and they didn't, oh God, he's put like well over 6 figures in. Actually, he's one of the guys that won one of the one-of-ones, the Gary Basement 101. They'll have that lunch with David. Not only does he not need to sell, but if this person did need to sell, if he says, okay, I don't want to put any more money in it, it's not like a collectible that everybody, has, and, they kind of want it, but, once this really cool license, like let's say Dragon Ball Z comes, or let's say Pokemon comes, I have zero idea if they're ever going to come. I don't know. But obviously when that happens, or if that happens, if you have a Goku, you have a Pikachu, whatever it is, everyone's going to be flooring everything they have. And it's going to be shopping day for some. But if you have a collectible that, people kind of like, but they know they could probably buy that back, everyone's going to floor it. And everyone's going to be undercutting each other. When you have something like somebody owns 30 or 40% of one collectible, they're not going to undercut themselves. One, that thing is, I think there's 534 copies that were ever redeemed. And again, them owning well over 200 of them is really, really interesting because, again, they're not going to undercut themselves. Out of the 200 plus that they have that would have gone to other users, they would have all tried to floor it, and the price would have crashed. So the floor would have fell through the bottom. And because you have 40% of it owned by 2 people, again, they might sell 1 or 2, but they're not going to undercut themselves. So you have less undercutting as a result. Again, that's just my take on it. So we have Sven Donjon saying, Randy Chavez, I just stacked 25 mats, but Gondek told me to stop. And Matt goes, it just says, stop it. He is just a troll over on Twitter. I've met him in real life. He's a really cool dude. He said once that, oh, by the way, I'm Banksy, just to troll people. He's a fun guy. I don't think he actually meant to stop collecting his collectibles. But yeah, that would be cool if people went and, again, tried to recreate some of his art. If he burned it, it upgrades. I think that'd be dope. Also, speaking of RoboCop, Dr. Prophet, he really likes him. Saying, my RoboCop for the man cave arrived. It's effing awesome. I am in awe about the quality, these mechanics of the weapon holster. Congrats to Veve, David Yu, Dan Crothers, and the rest of the team. That's it for me today. Thank you for joining. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Bye. Meow, 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 meow.